So yesterday, Nintendo hosted a very unconventional Nintendo Direct. Even with this year full of unconventional Directs, this one stood out as it did not feature any games. Well, in a way, I guess it kind of did, but yeah, as you're all probably aware, we got a Direct for Super Nintendo World, the theme park area that's coming to Universal Studios parks across the world. The Japan version is about to open, so we got a little tour around the place, and I wanted to gush mostly about what we were shown. This thing was just so cool in my opinion. It was hosted by the man himself, Shigeru Miyamoto, Mario's dad, as he refers to himself as in this video. That actually really put this whole thing over the top for me, having Miyamoto being the one to show us around. I think that made the whole ordeal just extra special, seeing this guy who helped create all this stuff we're seeing, him getting to witness his work materialized in real life. You could tell he was just loving every second of it. He started the tour by taking us through the themed entrance to the park area. You don't just walk around and suddenly are in Super Nintendo World. No, you go through a warp pipe to get there. And the entrance drops us off inside Peach's castle, which is complete with music from Mario 64 playing in the background. I said on Twitter, I immediately was in love with this place just after seeing this. They even had the paintings on the wall, which will be interesting, I think, to see how long it takes them to barricade it off so people can't go up to the pictures after what will surely be many individuals taking videos in that of them trying to jump through them. And then he took us out into the actual world, which was just amazing. It looks like you're actually in a Mario world. What really blows me away is the meticulous attention to detail that they seem to have spared no expense on. Obviously, the environments look as good as I think they could ever look in terms of, maintaining their in-game aesthetic and translating that into a real-world place. I'm sure that's not easy. But like the animatronics, Miyamoto touched on how characters move like they do in the game. A ton of extra work, you can tell, went into these things. Like, there was a big sleeping piranha plant at one point. That thing could have easily just been a static object in the world, having it be something that doesn't move at all, and I think that still would have looked great. But they went as far to animate its head so its mouth moves in that like it's actually sleeping. At one point, there was an animatronic of the best Nintendo character ever created, ChiGuy. He was moving around in the background, and it's like, of course, his arms and legs move, but even the little point tip of his hood swayed up and down while he was moving. Again, something completely, absolutely unnecessary that few will ever even notice. But it's those types of touches that I think make these theme park experiences truly special. And with this being obviously video game themed, I really liked how they gamified the place, I guess. Much of the environment you can interact with. You get these little power bands that you can scan in different locations. We saw an example of this, a spinning shell with POW blocks, and the shell would spin through this pipe and you had to time it. So when you hit the POW blocks, it would send the shell up through the pipe and get you this key coin. You can actually hit the blocks around the land to get coins, and it all tracks with an app that you can download on your phone. They teased in an underground area that there'd be some kind of game with a giant bomb, but they said they didn't want to spoil it. Like I said, with this being video games, I loved seeing all the interactive play elements. I think for kids especially, this is going to be great. I could see a lot of this stuff working out in the queues. He showed a lot of the stuff where you can just kind of scan your band and maybe it puts a little image on the wall or something. I think if they're smart, they'll implement this kind of stuff in places where you have to wait in line. So that way, kids could mess around and do stuff and keep themselves occupied during those long waits. I think that'd be a really wise decision. And of course, all that running around and playing, getting coins in that is going to make you build up an appetite. The Toad Restaurant, we got to talk about that. Looked so amazingly themed with all the mushroom and wood designs. The ceiling had all the different Mario power-ups painted on it. The food, of course, looks very inspired by Mario characters and items. You're even greeted when you enter by the head Toad chef and can watch all the Toads cooking in the kitchen through these window screens. Again, something they totally didn't have to do, but gives it that little extra something. We also got a taste of some of the merch items, of course. Gotta sling that merch. They've got all the theme park standard things, shirts, hats, popcorn buckets. They showcase this cool little Mario figure that you can make walk. I assume he comes in this little pipe that said Super Nintendo World on that. I think that'll be a great souvenir. Also, we got a peek of the walk-around costume characters for Mario and Luigi. This will probably be the types of characters that you can go up to and take pictures with, of course, after COVID is over. I thought they were very nice looking. Didn't look creepy as some of these costume characters tend to do. They do have the blinking effect with their eyes. They've implemented this with a lot of the Disney characters at the Disney parks, and it's something that tends to be hit or miss with people. I actually tend to think that having the characters blink makes them more pleasant to look at rather than just having their eyes wide open staring at you at all times. And then Bowser's Castle. How badass did this thing look on the outside, and even kind of creepy on the inside with the low lighting castle aesthetic and then like the giant stone Bowser statue. Again, can't say it enough, such amazing theming, so many details. And in here lies the land's main attraction, a Mario Kart ride that's going to seat you in a cart with AR glasses on, so they'll probably have like effects such as shells flying at you and stuff. Miyamoto said it took them, I think, over 6 years to develop just the ride. We didn't actually get to see it in action, but I'm sure given the rest of the world, it's going to be nuts. But yeah, all around, I have nothing but positive things to say about what we saw in this video. The only complaint, I guess I would say, is I can see a lot of these areas getting cramped once you pack it full of people. You know, like that underground area, doesn't look like it'd be easy to move a lot of people through that. But I'm sure they'll keep things moving so that, like, inside Peach's castle, there's only so many people in there at a time. One of the things I've seen from a lot of people noting online after watching this was that they felt this was very much a Super Mario world rather than a straight-up Nintendo one. Everything seemed like it was pulled from Mario, which, yeah, big true, but there are plans for more with this area. From what I've seen, this is just the beginning. I think there's been talk about a Donkey Kong themed area with like a minecart roller coaster, as well as a Zelda one, all of which would make complete sense. I think things are just kind of touch and go with, again, all the COVID stuff going on. The park itself, what we saw, was supposed to be open this year, so they're probably going to keep discussing a lot of other things very close to the chest until they feel safe talking about it. But yeah, I think this will be a big attractor for the parks, get a lot of people in there, similar to other big licenses that Universal has snagged, like Harry Potter. I think the Harry Potter lands really took them to the next level of being a destination. I think Universal used to kind of be like a place that you'd go to Disney World, let's say, and you spend like a day in Universal and the rest of the time at Disney World. But this stuff is really making the Universal parks their own destination. I think this just builds on that. They obviously also did a fantastic job with the Harry Potter stuff. And yeah, that specifically attracts those fans. Makes them want to come and visit likely much more than they did before. And I think Nintendo World will have that same effect with the gamers. Like I said, being able to feel like you've actually been transported into these worlds, getting to interact with the environments, ride these attractions, eat in these obnoxiously well-themed restaurants. Like, personally, I don't know how you could be a Nintendo fan and not want to do this at least once. Myself, obviously, yeah, I can't wait to check this out. Don't know if I'll make it all the way to Japan for this, but like they said, this is going to be coming to Universal parks all over the world, including both California and Florida here in the States. So at least by that time, when we get them over here in the US, I'll definitely be checking them out as soon as possible. But anyway, with that, this video's a wrap. Let me know your thoughts on Super Nintendo World in the comments. Were you as impressed by the park as I was? And do you plan to visit there one day? Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this discussion of Super Nintendo World. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you want to keep the conversation going, hit me up on Twitter @JohnnyZakari, and join my Discord, ChiGuy and Friends. Link to both in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching.